Alright, so again here we are continuing in this series of videos. In this video we're going to look at the equations of lines that are perpendicular or even parallel to a given line segment. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is have the particular line segment. So we're going to use the same line segment that we have been using up to this point, which would be, in the first instance, we would have the point A 3 minus 6 and the point B 5 minus 4. Right? Note that it is not absolutely necessary to represent the points accurately on a specified Cartesian coordinate plane with x-axis and y-axis. Once they give you 2 points, you can sketch it, join the 2 points, line segment, everything else you just calculate. Alright? Now, we know that the equation of the gradient of this line is minus 5 over 4, and we know that the equation was y is equal to minus 5 over 4x plus 9 over 4. Alright, that was the final answer. Maybe I didn't mention it in the video, but you would have seen it in the subsequent document accompanying it. Alright, so we have the gradient of minus 5 over 4x plus 9 over 4. So we have the gradient of minus 5 over 4. We have the equation y is equal to minus 5 over 4x plus 9 over 4. So, suppose they ask us now to find the equation of a line perpendicular to AB passing through the point B. So that will basically be a line, this line here. Alright? Alright. What is the importance of telling us that the line is perpendicular to AB? Remember that anytime you have two lines where the two lines are perpendicular to each other, remember that the gradient of those two lines are, one would be the negative reciprocal of the other. So for example, in this case, where we have the gradient of AB at minus 5 over 4, then the gradient of a line parallel to AB, which means that the gradient will be the same as AB. The gradient of a line parallel to AB would be the same minus 5 over 4. By the same token, the gradient of a line perpendicular to AB would be the negative reciprocal of minus 5 over 4, which would be plus 4 over 5. Alright? So anytime they tell you to find the equation of a line passing through a point perpendicular to another line, it means, one, we would either have already found the gradient of the first line, or we simply have to find it. And two, once we have the other point through which this perpendicular line is passing, then we could find the equation quite easily. Alright? So in this case, we know that the line passes through the point 5 minus 4, and we know that the gradient is 4 over 5. 4 over 5, of course, being the negative reciprocal of minus 5 over 4. So therefore, to find the gradient, it will simply be y minus 4 over x minus 5 is equal to, not minus 5 over 4, but 4 over 5. Alright? And I will leave that as an exercise for you to continue. I will also write up a little document on this just so you can see it. What about if they had asked for the equation of a line perpendicular to AB passing through A? Well, it's the same logic. Alright? In this case, we're using the point 3 minus 6. So we will have y minus 6 over x minus 3 is equal to the same 4 over 5. That's, of course, being that we're talking about this particular line here. What about if they had asked for the equation of a line perpendicular to AB passing through the point 2, 1? Same logic, right? Remember from the previous video that all we need to find the equation of a straight line would be the gradient of the line and any point that the line passes through. Right? So they will normally tend to give you that information by saying that this line, this new line whose equation they wanted to find, is parallel to some other pre-existing line and it passes through some point. The point might be on the pre-existing line or it may not be on the pre-existing line. Right? But the importance of saying that it is perpendicular to the pre-existing line is that once you know the gradient of the pre-existing line, it allows you now to find the gradient of the new line as the negative reciprocal of the gradient of the pre-existing line. I hope I didn't go too fast there. Alright? You could always rewind and play it over just to make sure. Alright? So, excuse me. In this case, it tells us that the line passes through the point 2, 1. What that means is that it passes through the point 2, 1 and is perpendicular to AB. So let us, for the sake of argument, right, we will just draw this over just to drive home the point. Alright? So we have A 3 minus 6 and we have B 5 minus 4. Alright? And we say that the line passes through the point 2, 1, and we say C2, 1. Right? And it's perpendicular to AB. Right? So we immediately know what this line is looking like because we already sketched AB to begin. Alright? So this is the line here. Now the line doesn't pass through A or B or any point on this line segment. Now, but even though that's the case, the two lines will meet at some point because they're not parallel. Once the two lines are not parallel, they would meet sooner or later. Alright? But this is not what we're looking for. All we want is the equation. Alright? So in that case, what we do, we say y minus 1 over x minus 2 because we're using this point. We know the gradient of this line is the negative reciprocal of the gradient of this line because the two lines are parallel. And having the gradient of this line as minus 5 over 4, it means that the gradient of this line would be plus 4 over 5. So that y minus 1 over x minus 2 is equal to plus 4 over 5, and again I will leave that as an exercise for you to find the gradient. You could go through that looking at the video and then double check in the comments below the video in the online setup to make sure that the working was in fact correct. Alright, so that more or less is straight lines, what we did in class after the last session we had, and then these few videos coming up to this point. Now I would like to strongly urge you all to do the questions in practice. Right? If you have any problems, then make a note of it. We could deal with that in class, or we could deal with that in the WhatsApp group, even in the WhatsApp group. For those of you in the face-to-face class. And if you're not in my face-to-face class, you can feel free to send a WhatsApp, right, or email, right, or to get assistance with somebody else. That is totally fine. But you need to do the questions, even though you understand in class, even though you understand the videos. The only way to be sure and to drive home the understanding is to repeatedly do questions, right? There will be different things that will come at you. You'll make some mistakes, you'll bounce your head here and there, but you will learn, and that is what we are about. Alright? So, treat this topic as all other topics. Treat it seriously because this is one of the fundamental topics, as all the other topics too, but straight lines is generally one of the topics that tends to cause problems in the CSEC math syllabus. Alright? So, take your time and get through with this because there'll be other stuff coming along later, quadratics and all that kind of things. And in the case of the people doing add maths, you'll have to also deal with the equation of a circle in the add maths. Alright? But all of that is, by the way, at this point, we're dealing with the equation of a straight line. Let us get this thing done. Let us get it straight. Alright.